Hey guys, it is Jamcam here, and welcome to the World of Beda Update 2. This is gonna show off what I've done this week, and simply put, well, there's a few things actually. Firstly, what I want to show off is, if I hit escape, there is now a clock in the pause menu. This is such a small thing, but it is so good. Now, basically, this will show. This shows the time of day in the game. So as you can see, it's currently 10:55. If I move around a little bit more, or even if I just wait a little more, time will speed up. Well, time will move, and now it's 11:13. Time is currently going a little faster than it's meant to because was just testing the system. But anyway, as well as that, I have added quests that have time limits. So if I come and talk to Allison here, obviously it zooms into them as well, which this is new and fun. I was really happy with this actually. I quite like it. Anyway, blah 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 blah. Give me the quest. Thank you. We now have a quest. Oh yeah, I also fixed the issue with the party screen in dialogue. Anyway, if I now go into quests, you will see that they now have a time. So any quests with time limits will be this slightly darker color in the quest log, and then they've also got a time remaining. This time remaining is, well, how long until the quest expires, essentially, based on the clock. So let's go out of this maximize mode here, and we will fast forward the time to to the next day, basically. So there we go. It is now. Oh, it's day 2. That's going to cause a bug, surely. Don't worry about the clock. I'm going to show off that bug as well. Thought that was going to be the case. I'm going to need to fix that. This is why we do these, so we can figure out bugs. All right. I didn't actually expect it to. I didn't expect the lighting manager to jump forward by 2 days, but let's do that. Let's do this again. So we now have the quest. It says ready in a day. I'm going to jump forward to the next day. So it's currently midnight. The bug is still there, but that's okay. And now it says we've only got 10 hours to complete the quest. Basically, the way this works is it takes the number of days into account, and if we're on the same day as that number of days, it gives us our hours instead. Obviously, we've just seen that bug of we can have negative days. I shall definitely fix that. Although, granted, that only happens if we're skipping forward time, which currently there is no way to, although eventually there will be a way to. I was going to put lights in here. I put lights in the main world. Anyway, and then once we skip forward a bit into time when it expires, so there's 10 hours time, it will fail the quest. We'll see it up here in the top right, quest expired. And that basically removes it from our log and all of that. Now, most of the quests will be, well, probably not most of the quests. Some of the quests will be this time-based quests. Basically, there'll be quests like go and get 5 apples, for example. Because if you're getting 5 apples for someone, they will probably want them in a certain amount of time. Instead of just, hey, here's some apples. You know, here's some apples at some random time a few months down the track. So, that's that. It's, so yeah, quests like that will probably happen. Things like the first quest won't be, timed or things like that. So, but that's good. We can now do timed events in the game. Another couple of things I've done, which I will point out. I won't point them out in the game mode. But first thing that's of note is, although it doesn't look like it, I have added lights into basically everywhere else. While I haven't actually put them, I have realized while I haven't put them in the world themselves, in the individual worlds themselves, I have this scene here called Whole World, which gives me, well, my whole world. Here it is. In fact, it's even at nighttime, because when I was recording this first time, I forgot to have my microphone on. So yes, this here is the whole world. It is, as you can see, quite large. I can't actually render this all at once, which is why I have everything broken up into its separate parts. And yeah. So yeah, there's lights everywhere in the new areas. I'm pretty sure this is new, so I'll show this off on camera as well. This is Steel Sanctuary. This is a little farm that you can come to and get some crops, grow some crops, all that sort of stuff. So crops are like your carrots, parsnips, radishes. Maybe we'll do. Maybe I'll also do. Oh no, we have an orchard as well. Orchard is going to be out here somewhere. So yeah, this is all your growing, farming stuff. And I will probably also make it so that you physically can also grow farms instead of just letting an NPC do it. Yeah, we have a nice little light area up here. I'm going to hide these lights. There we go, that looks nicer. We have a little light trail up here. This is... Obviously, this is the cliffs. This is Chilson Cliffs. And it doesn't have a path through it because it just hasn't really ever had a path through it. In fact, this path here from the main one to Cliffs is actually new as well because, well, it wanted a path to Sanctuary and it made sense making one to Sanctuary instead of just not to Cliffs. You know what I mean. I was putting one to here, I might as well put it all the way down to here as well. Obviously the cliffs aren't quite finished because they flow down onto the beach. The beach currently doesn't have any lights, but that's alright. So beach is all this. And then, I will talk about that later. This is Chilson's Canyon, another area that's been lit up. Obviously this is where we were before, this is the tutorial trail as we begin. And then also Rocky Ravine has quite a few lights in it as well. As well as Whisper Hollow Woods and Ghostly Ghetto, which is this area down here. This area that's not lit up is a whole bunch of new areas. So, this big open expanse with the hills is Prospering Plains. This is sort of, again, a bit more of a bit of a, I guess, buffer, if you will, between some of the early areas and, well, a bit more of early areas. Just a bit more space, but yeah. So there's going to be a farm in here, just in this little alcove here, and then also there's an orchard that, like I said, it's going to be in this little crossroads here. This up here isn't actually new, and it's not lit up. This is Sacred Square. This is the capital, the main area. I'm going to set this back to day. Hold on. Boom. There we go. This is, yeah, Sacred Square. This is the main capital area. Yeah, then coming out of this is Thriving Trail, which is currently not very thriving because I don't have any scenery in it. And then Lively Landing, which currently doesn't exist. It's just a few holes in the ground. Lively Landing is a port town that I haven't quite worked out yet, but once I have worked it out, it'll be in here. So all these areas did exist, and then the world got corrupted, so I lost everything, which was disappointing. This gap here, actually. So this gap is going to be a place called Quarrelsome Quarry. Gonna be, well, a quarry, funnily enough. It basically provides stone for all the areas. And then out slightly to, well, to this side of Sacred Square is Housing Hovel, which will come in the next few weeks. Because I went, there's not a lot of houses in here. So we're going to build a few more houses out here. And that is pretty much everything I've done. One of the other things I've done, actually, around also the time of day, was made it so spawners spawned different Porables at different times. So if we go to somewhere like Sleepy Sticks, you can see, you will be able to see, once it loads. Here it is. Currently dark because no lights, but, well, no lights except the ones in the town. If I turn off the lighting, we can see there are a couple of spawners over here. These little red circles. These red circles are where Porables will spawn in. And basically, it'll be, there's a certain ones that can spawn during the day and certain ones that can spawn during the night. And they will either be the same or different or both, depending on what I'm wanting, which I'm yet to decide. So yeah, I've had a bit of fun yesterday trying to work out what Porables go where. So, yep, that's not quite done yet, but yeah. Now, actually, I was gonna show you how to fix that bug we saw before, because I found it hilarious, and then the fix for it was, well, even easier. So, if we look at the bug again, I'll show you it again, because I have done this completely out of order. Let's see, so we want the lighting. So if we go, so the bug basically is whenever we get to midnight, as you can see, the clock goes absolutely bananas. And this took me a while to figure out, and it's kind of embarrassing that it took me a while to figure this out. I will show you what I did in terms of a graphic. So basically, I have a function for getting the hours, which is seen by this first bit. So currently, I keep track of the time of day when this sort of decimal, correction. It's called a float. Basically, it's a number with a bunch of numbers after a decimal point. It's pretty self-explanatory. So this is what the time of day in the game sees. And so normally what I'd do is I'd get the time of day, which just rounds it to the nearest whole number. Well, in fact, it rounds it down to the nearest whole number, so it will always be 10 or it will always be 11 or whatever. And then I wanted to try and get the minutes. Now, what I would do with the minutes is basically I'm only interested in all of the garbage at the front. And so what I'd do is I would take the number that I got, I would then get what's called the modulus, or essentially rounding dividing, by the hour. So this would, if it was 10, I would divide it by 10, get the remainder, which would be all the garbage. And then do a bit of maths and flooring and all that sort of stuff to get the right amount of minutes. Now, what happens if it's midnight? Well, then our time of day is 0 point whatever. Now, of course, we're interested in the whatever, so we take the time of day, and then we divide it by what the current hour is. Do you see my issue? All of a sudden, I'm now dividing by 0. I'm dividing by 0. Which, if you know any sort of maths, you can't do that. You very much can't do that. And the funny thing was, it wasn't giving me any errors in the console or anything like that. It's just giving me a random number. In fact, it's giving me a overflow number, I'm pretty sure it is. It's giving me an overflow number, which I kind of deserve. So this took so long to try and figure out, and I found some way of doing it. Basically, if the time is 0, then just take the time of day. I was then talking about this with someone, and then I went, wait a minute, I could just subtract them from each other. I don't have to try and do this dividing stuff at all. Therefore, I make the code so much simpler. You know, sometimes all you need is just someone to talk things through. And then you realize that it was actually quite easy. And so now, if we jump back into the game, and it goes to 0, it's currently fine. Everything is fine. And I am an idiot. That's okay. So yeah, that is everything, actually. That is everything I've done this week, including all my idiocies. Yeah. Hope you guys have all enjoyed. If you have, there's a little thumbs up button. If you click it, lets me know you've enjoyed the video. Beside it, there's a little red button called subscribe. You click it, you get to see when I have new videos. Little bell beside it, you even get notified. Anyway, it's currently very dark, very spooky, very spoopy. Goodbye!